huge congrats on this.
Thank
obviously
you.
so much fun, especially because you're involved, Chris. I feel like anything you touch is just like hilarious.
Did you hear about the TV production?
Ooh. Here, when did this come in?
Apparently, one of the producers used to live here years ago.
Did you happen to catch her name?
And fair play for managing to set another comedy series in County Roscommon.
I know.
It's impressive.
I feel like we'll keep going now. We'll
Yeah.
just keep going. We'll just be series after series set in the Northwest, really. It makes sense.
I'll keep watching them.
It's like Woody Allen had Manhattan.
Oh.
Yeah. You have
I've got
Boyle.
Roscommon.
And I love the way there's like such a crossover with the Moone Boy cast. I'm thinking in particular David Rawl, like he's brilliant. Was it an obvious choice to get him back involved?
He popped into my head quite early when I was writing it. And I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to shift that idea. And then I hadn't seen him in a minute. And so I kind of checked up on him. He was just finished up in drama school. And I'm like, oh, well, this is perfect. And he's done such a gorgeous job.
He's so
Such
lovely.
a sweet fella.
Yeah,
He's
what was
so
your
great.
first impressions of David when you met him?
Oh, well, I was a fan of his from Moone Boy, so
brilliant.
both the kids and the
Oh, yeah.
two young boys.
That's right, 'cause
David.
Ian-
Yeah, I saw the
Yeah.
cameo from
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I was when I met him, didn't I gush?
Yeah,
I was
you
like, oh
did,
my
that's
god,
right.
I'm such
That's
a fan
right.
of yours. So,
That's brilliant.
no, so I guess I met David at the table read when we first met,
Yeah,
and I
maybe.
was kind of like, I was excited to meet him. Yeah, a big fan. He's so talented and just lovely.
It was funny. I'd asked about some of the other characters in Moone Boy, and like Sarah White, who played another daughter, and I was like, oh, maybe we could get her in. And somebody was like, no, she's a lawyer now. She's literally a solicitor.
But I didn't know so many Moone Boy people were coming in, so I would be on set and wake up and, oh, who's playing? And then I would show up and I'd be like, oh my God, you were in Moone Boy. I didn't see, but I loved that you kept bringing people in. It's
Yeah,
like
it was
having
nice.
like a company.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the vibe.
It's like a
really.
cameo checklist. I loved it.
It was good.
Yeah.
Some of them played, but I mean, they're such fine actors. I was very lucky to have them.
Yeah.
Will it be your first time in Ireland?
No. I've been living in America.
And now you're back to tell the story of your people to the world?
I'm sorry, is he being a cow?
But there was a really great scene where you're auditioning the locals to see if they want to be involved in the production. I'd love to know from you guys, you've obviously been in the business for a long time, do you have any particularly chaotic audition stories that kind of reminds you of that town hall?
I cried in one once.
Did you? Oh, what wrong?
It was.
Or right? Maybe you were supposed to be crying.
It was. I had just been on a series. We shot a full 22 episodes. It got canceled, and I went in on like my first audition after, and it was like the teeniest little role that I couldn't believe I had to like drive across town and get dressed to say like 3 lines, and I totally messed up the 3 lines, and I just could tell like the fact that I had like in Los Angeles, it doesn't matter if you were just on a show. You every time you when you finish, you have to start over from the bottom up again. And I just felt so beaten down, and I messed up those 3 stupid lines.
I bet they were.
I bet
And I
you
just
still remember
started
them.
whimpering. It was like just like this is awful.
Yeah.
I hate this.
It was hard.
Yeah, it was pretty pitiful.
But look at you now.
I know.
Look at us now.
You've overcome it all.
Audition.
I love it. I think it's so cool as well how much of a crossover you have with your character Christina,
Yeah.
because you're obviously American in Ireland filming as well. How was that as an experience? You're filming in Wicklow, was it?
Mostly, yeah.
What was like the most asked question to you by all the Irish people you were working with?
No one spoke to me.
Terrified.
Famous for being friendly, but
I don't think anyone. I mean, we were all quite chummy and stuff, but I don't think they were like
I
asking
think
me
people are
anything
kind of
in particular.
people are used to what you call it, production's been around now. That's the big thing that I noticed from when we were shooting the last time, because it's been a minute. People are, it's the novelty of like productions coming through town is kind of gone, really.
that's
Yeah,
true.
it's mostly everyone was eager to find out how I was liking Ireland.
Yeah.
Like everyone really wanted me to like it. They wanted to be welcoming. It's just sort of
Well,
like
they wouldn't speak to you, but they
how
wanted
are
to know that you
enjoying
liked it.
Ireland? I love it. They're just
Yeah.
very pleased that you love it. You know.
I like that. I also thought it was quite funny, Chris, the way you only wrote yourself in for a cameo. Well, kind of, few episodes. Was it ever a thought to kind of play Seamus, or were you always happy to take that kind of bit of a backseat?
I always felt like the Jackie role was the plum role. So I was just holding off until that came available. We offered it to a few other people and they turned it down. And then at the last minute, I stepped in.
I didn't know that.
I just made it up.
Oh.
If I have to.
It's not a small character, I'll tell you that.
I think initially I was like, I was writing Seamus for myself, really. And then as it kind of developed as a character, I kind of started feeling like, I don't know if this is actually, maybe if I cast somebody else, I might be able to put him in this other area that somebody else might do better. And then I could focus just on the overall storytelling of it. And that's kind of the way it ended up. And then when Paddy became available and we were like, fuck me, you got to get Paddy if we can get Paddy.
He's brilliant.
He's terrific.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Are you going to tell them all what happened, Shamie Proctor? You and me in the woods the night of the millennium?
There's quite a big scene that's kind of set around the millennium. Without spoiling anything else,
Yes.
that's all I can say.
Yes.
I'd love to know, like, I was 3 when the millennium happened. But
Get out of here.
sorry.
I just I get sadness. I was like,
But where were you guys? What were you up to? Also, did you think the world was going to end? I think that was a thing that was happening.
The Y2K thing was big, right? Like, that was a real concern.
everyone was worried about their bank accounts. Like, the
Yes.
numbers were going to reset, and we
It
were
was
all
such
going to
a
be...
wild idea that they were like, they won't be able to go past 99. They
We're all
just
terrified.
won't be able
Get
to.
all your money out of the bank.
Like, it's 25 years later, and it's like, essentially the computers are going to take over the world now. It's AI and
Yeah.
everything. But 25 years ago, we were like really worried about 99 going to 100, that the whole system was going to break down. What a
They're
bunch
gone
of
down.
bullshit. They just want us worried. They just want us constantly in a state of worry. I was weirdly in the forest where the guys were, right? Which is, I think, why I ended up writing that. I had come home. I was in UCD at the time. And so I had come home from university and spent the weekend at home. Or no, it would have been Christmas break or whatever. But I had gone out drinking in the forest. I think we might have even gone for a swim in that fucking freezing cold lake. But that's my memory of the millennium, was
Love that.
the same as Paddy and Christina's.
Drinking.
And-
In the
Irish
forest.
love jumping in cold water.
Oh, we're stupid.
What we
Stop
do.
jumping
we
into the
really
sea.
do.
There's somebody, the sea is trying to tell us something we haven't yet understood.
I believe that. That's the next series. I'll watch that too. Thank you so much, guys,
Thank
for
you.
speaking with me. I absolutely love the series. And best of luck with the release. And
Thank
everything.
you very
so
much.
much.
Lovely to meet you both.
Nice to meet
Cheers.
you as
Take
well.
care.